Leg day at my gym in Berlin. I'm doing squats and deadlifts. It's early morning and barely anyone here. There is this guy in his 50s, bald, huge, bulgy muscles, tattooed, skin's always flushed red like a sunburn. We've chatted a few times and he's kind of always around. I finish my set. He comes over. Marty, now that you've lost weight, your ass looks much better. He'd been watching from behind. I didn't say anything. I finished my training in the other corner, went home and cried. And this is the video I wish I had watched before that happened. Because what I did wrong that day and what I did right after taught me more about respect than any boundary setting advice ever could. You are training people how to treat you every single day, and you have no idea you're doing it. 3 ways you're doing it wrong. Let's go. Before we talk about other people disrespecting you, we need to talk about you disrespecting you. You don't just wake up one day and let people walk all over you. You trained them, but before you trained them, you trained yourself. I had a colleague once. He was a nice guy from the data analysis department of the agency I worked in. I asked him to do a data analysis for one of my projects, and he said, yes, sure. Next day I asked, oh, sorry, so much came up. I'll do it soon. A week later, nothing. A month later, oh crap, I forgot, but I'm going on holiday tomorrow. I'll do it after. I promise, okay? But remind me later. What would you think of that person? Maybe you'd still like them, but would you trust them? Would you count on them for anything important? Would you bet on them when it matters? No, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. He trained me to see him as unreliable. And it has nothing to do with my request, but breaking his word was just his default. Now imagine this is the relationship you have with yourself. I'm gonna start working out. You don't. No more wine on weekdays. Wednesday comes, wine's open. I will finally have that honest talk with my partner. You don't. And you think it doesn't count because nobody saw it. But your brain saw it. Your subconscious keeps the score. Every promise you break, you are teaching yourself, my word means nothing. I'm someone who cannot be trusted. And then come these thoughts. I'm so weak. I never follow through. I'm such a failure. And this is the part people miss because it doesn't just stay inside. It infiltrates everything. How you carry yourself, how you speak, how you show up in your life. And others smell it. Some people walk into a room, look around, that one's an easy target. They might not know why they don't take you seriously, but they feel it. So if you're wondering why people don't respect you, check the score with yourself first. But breaking promises to yourself is only half the problem. Because even if you start keeping your word, you can still destroy your respect in a single moment by what you do or not do when someone crosses the line. And this is where my gym story comes back in. Remember that guy in his 50s, built like the Red Rock, eyeing me from behind while I was doing deadlifts. Marty, now that you've lost some weight, your ass looks much better. I told you I didn't say anything. That is not fully true. I looked over helplessly, isn't that your wife over there? And he goes, yeah, so what? And I just awkwardly walked into the corner, trained there, walked home and broke down. And for me, it wasn't just the comment. It was disgusting, yes. But for someone who spent over a decade battling an eating disorder, fighting to separate weight from worth, having a creepy man reduce me to a body that finally looks better for him? I talked to my partner that night. He was enraged and shocked. And with his support, I decided to talk to the gym manager, a woman. She'll get it. She will have my back. She sided with him. Yeah, he's just a little simple-minded, harmless. He meant well. Oh, he wants to apologize. Maybe you can talk to him. It's not like anything happened. And this is the moment where everything splits. Old me would have accepted this apology. If I train at different hours, it will be fine. maybe I really overreacted. But I didn't do that. I canceled my membership, but they didn't want to let me out of the 1-year contract. So I went through all the hassle. I wrote testimonies, I threatened to make it public, and got out. And then I wrote an open review, what happened at the gym, how the gym handled it, and how the female gym manager sided with the guy. It felt important to me that women training alone deserve to know what kind of environment they are walking into. They asked me several times to take it down. Case is closed, you are out of the contract. Just remove it, please. I leave it there. We often think standing up for yourself is about changing the other person, making them see what they did wrong, getting the apology, being right. No, this was never about them. They might never understand. I did it to prove to myself how I allow myself to be treated. Respect is taught through consequences, not through conversations. Have your boundaries, but when there are no consequences for when someone crosses us, you have no boundaries. You have a wish, and nobody respects wishes. So think about your life right now. Where are you swallowing something and calling it, not a big deal? Where are you adjusting your life just to avoid this one person instead of addressing the situation? Because every time you shrink, you are not keeping the peace. You are telling yourself that you don't matter enough to not make it awkward. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Marty, that gym story should have said something to his face. You should have put him in his little place right there. Yeah, I know. And if you watch other videos on respect and boundaries, that is what those people seemingly can do easily. Have a sharp comeback ready. Set the boundary in the moment. Be the person who calmly says, "Don't talk to me like that, you shrimp," and walk away with dignity. I wish I was that person. I really do. But in that moment, I had a man twice my size standing over me after watching my body while I was bent forward doing deadlifts. My nervous system didn't go, "Time to set a boundary." It went full predator, danger. All I could manage was to freeze, say something about his wife, and then get out of there and cry at home. And I used to blame and hate myself for that. Why can't I just say something? I work so much on that, but why am I so weak? Why can't I stand up for myself like those divas in the videos? Because here is what I have learned after that incident, and I wish someone has told me this sooner. We all have different thresholds for overwhelm. Some people flee, some freeze, and some laugh nervously and change the subject. That is your nervous system doing its job. That's your body doing the best it can. This is not weak. The real question is, what do you do after? Do you regain the dignity by taking action? Or do you continue the disrespect, except now you are doing it to yourself, replaying it, blaming yourself, calling yourself weak, telling yourself you should have been braver, sharper, cooler? Because that, the second part, that makes it even worse after what that person did to you. They disrespect you once. You can disrespect yourself for years to come. So if you froze in a situation, if you didn't have the perfect counter, if you laughed while you should have walked away, stop punishing yourself for that moment, but look at what you can do after. Do you address it later? Do you leave? Do you stop giving that person access to you? Or do you just keep going? Same colleague, same friend, same family member, pretending that nothing happened and adding yourself to the list of people who don't respect you. Because remember, you are training people how to treat you. Not just in that moment and with your immediate response, but with every choice you make after someone has shown you who they really are. That is where everybody can build respect and self-respect. not only in the moment, but in the after. So these were 3 ways you are training people, including yourself, how to treat you. You break promises to yourself until your brain stops believing you. You tolerate disrespect by not enforcing consequences. And you punish yourself for not having the perfect response when it mattered. But I know that when you are in your safe space, when your body cools down, there is something that you know you can do, no matter how small it looks from the outside, but otherwise you wouldn't still be here. And if you are still here, drop me a peach in the comments. You know why. And maybe share with me and us, where in your life have you been keeping the peace for others instead of keeping your own self-respect? It's time to stop being on your own list of people who don't respect you. Subscribe now, because this is what we are doing here. And if you want to understand why you keep tolerating all of this in the first place, watch this video next about how you were trained to care too much, right here.